here comes the newest and one of the most senior in NHRA drag racing, Ashley Force over there on the right side, and Bernstein.
What was it, Ron?
And in 1 week, it goes all again. Round 3 of the swing, and we continue that midsummer marathon from Sonoma, California, and we'll find out whether or not Greg Anderson can sweep through the Western swing. It did it in 2004. See what happens now.
Boy, and this is a big matchup right here. Ashley Force and Kenny Bernstein. Kenny Bernstein, one of the best reaction time, best levers in the business. Ashley had a great reaction time in that first round win over Ron Capps, but she's going to, she's going to need it here against Kenny Bernstein, because Kenny's car is running pretty well. We saw the right lane looks pretty good, especially when you see Tony run low ET of the meet, so they know the conditions are there. Ashley's just going to have to be on her game, because I guarantee you Kenny will be.
Don't let it get any more to the outside. Keep it to the end, towards the center, okay?
I'm not keeping it towards the inside of the groove. Don't let it drift towards the outside. Oh, pedal fast.
Well, and Ashley tries to stay with it until it finally gets totally sideways, and then she catches the wall. And the motor's still running. And finally it stops. The body all askew. John Medlin, Guido Antonelli, they're running down the track to get to her aid as Ashley climbs out of the car to the cheers of the crowd. Boy, a little stunning, that one. You thought it was all covered.
Yeah, that was big. I'm sure she's upset. Situation where she's been doing a good job of keeping the car in the groove when the car's hooked up, but she hasn't had a lot of experience when the car gets loose and starts spinning the tires.
And look at Larry Dixon right in there to help her. And a lot of the drivers, I'm sure you've done it, Mike Dunn, realize they're the guys with fire suits on. If somebody needs some help, maybe they can get in there too.
Yeah, that was a scary moment there. Both cars spin the tires. Kenny was able to get his to recover, but Ashley was obviously had some trouble getting it to recover and got it into the wall.
Well, it looks like she had it under control, and then all of a sudden it was into the wall. Flash of fire, flip of the top. Now John's there with her. So as she pulls the helmet off, here's what happened.
Both cars spun the tires pretty to the point, but you see Kenny got his to recover. Ashley just rotated that thing way around when it was spinning the tires, and hit the wall pretty hard, flips the body off, and it looks like the body actually kept the rear wheels off of the ground and just allowed it to spin around right there. But that was a scary moment there.
Of course, the safety safari was right on top of that. They always are.
You got to remember, you have 7,000 horsepower here, and you're trying to get to recover. And the key, when it spins a tire early like that, you have to stay out of the throttle a lot longer than if it spins a little further down track, because you don't have that momentum. So you got to really settle that car down. You look right there. She gets on the throttle there as that thing was not before it got straight. And when it did, it just rotated that thing back around and pow, right into the wall, spun it around all the way up from the backside. And that was a big hit right there.
Yeah, that was a head-on hit to the wall when it finally got around. It wasn't carrying all of the velocity, but nevertheless, it went head-on in.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard hit there.
And that's where we saw power still going to the rear wheels.
You see the fuel tank out there broken. That's where a lot of the fire came from when it got on the headers. The fire bottles are already off, and which I'm sure helped, but. At that point, she was just waiting for that thing to come to a stop because she had no brakes. Well, she had front brakes. Funny cars do have front brakes, so that might have helped slow it down, but with the rear wheels off, take it on the left. When she gets back on the throttle, right there, it was already rotating around, and boom, big hit into the wall, split the fuel tank. That's where the fire came from, but the bottles went off and finally came to a stop.
And it looked like she was still trying to drive it to a stop as it came off the wall. And while it was an apparent almost head-on into the wall, it still had that turning moment. So that was taking a lot of energy away. Gary Gerald, is she ready to talk?
She is indeed. She's over here on the wall. She's talked to all of her family members and appears to be fine. I know you were doing your doggonest to try to get that car to hook back up, but kind of talk us through what you were experiencing.
Well, you think it'd be easier to know, right? You think it'd be harder when you're going 300 miles an hour knowing you're at, but really that's what we're trained to do. It's pedaling it. I don't have too much experience in that, and I saw Kenny struggling, and you don't want to give up. You want to get back on. Sometimes you need to stop yourself and find where you're at. And I had my steering wheel every other different direction, and that's not where you want to be when you step back on that throttle. So I'm sorry to my guys. I scared them and my family, but I'm okay, and I have the best team in the world, and they will get this car back together. And sorry we couldn't go more rounds, but Dad's still in, and if we can calm him down a little bit, he'll be doing just fine for this weekend.
All right. Glad you're all right. Thanks.
Thank you.
So there's John Force as he consults with some of the medical people to make sure. Dan Bricky, one of the medical paramedics that comes up to the line. Everything is okay, though, for Ashley Force. Dave, what's John saying?
Well, John's just talking over with Dan Bricky right now, the Director of Emergency Medical Services, and pretty amped up there for a while, John, but reality's kind of starting to set in. You feeling okay?
I feel good. I'm glad that she's okay. This can be a learning experience for her. There's a lot going on out there. Drivers got to make decisions. She said, Dad, I saw Kenny was in trouble. I got back on it, and she said it just went around on me. And luckily, roll the car. We'll see what we can salvage. But, Castrol and Ford and AAA at Southern Cal, her a brand new car. Dean will give her a brand new race car. She's moving up in those points, and she's not hurt. And Eric Medlin was with her today. I know that. We were all with her. The fans were with her. And I've still got a race here that I've got to run. But I love that kid. I can see it in her eyes. She wants to race. I know her mom and her sisters are okay. And tell her daughter, her sister Adria at home, she's fine, Adria. And Autumn, she's okay. And
Next time, that's all.
Yeah, the question, John, are you going to be okay, isn't it? His heart's still pounding after that. And just another point to make, Mike Dunn. We keep talking about parts, and the funny cars especially seem to be losing them.
Yeah, the 6-race stretch, you start, smacking the wall of the cars, losing bodies and everything. It just, you don't have a whole lot of time between races to rebuild it, and it can be kind of a stressful situation.
So Ashley Force tries to pedal against Kenny Bernstein, and it works out very badly as she puts the car into the wall, and John Force looks like he is terribly distressed by that moment. A lot of pressure on that man. And we've all wondered just how has he gotten through this year? There's so much pressure on.
And his scooter's here, so we'll hook it up. I'll hook up the scooter in a couple minutes. I'll take him back. Yes, we'll get the scooter back.
There's John Medlin. Is John Force going to be ready for the next opportunity here? It's bothered John a lot more than it has Ashley. Robert Height, another teammate, already out of competition early. So John Force heads back, obviously a bit stunned by his daughter's confrontation with the wall. It's bothering him deeply. We'll take one more look. There is good reason for him to be bothered. The car virtually head on. Power stayed on the wheels and jerked 2 different ways. Finally came to a stop, dumping all of its fuel. But the news was that Ashley Force climbed out of that car unhurt.